Let's be real for a moment here, ladies. No matter what phase or season of life you're in, I think it would be safe to say that we all struggle with that cursed word and emotion of guilt. I would love to see this word eliminated from your daily life. Sounds awesome, right? I mean, what would a day be like without feeling guilty about something? Shit, most of us feel guilty for even thinking about not having guilt. That's what a mess this emotion and everything around it is tied to. It's just a big cluster. You know what? But together today, we're going to chat about some of the biggest points of guilt that we face in our lives, maybe why some of it is triggered, and as working mamas in this insanely crazy world we live in now, how we can best cope with it. We are going to address some big elephants in this space and talk candidly about how you can handle guilt so that it has less of an impact on how you view yourself as a woman, a working mama, a partner, a spouse, a leader, an employee, a whatever you are. Let's just stop feeling guilty already. You with me? Come on, let's learn how.
Welcome to Ladies Kickin' Ass, a podcast for women entrepreneurs working in the skilled trades and home service industries. I'm your host. My name is Tanya Wilson, and against all odds, being a working mama of 5 and a woman, I have built multiple 6- and 7-figure profitable home service companies. I've had it all, lost it all, and built it back better my own way. I'll show you and inspire you to do the same. Here you will learn from myself and guests on what it takes to design, build, and lead a successful service company as a woman in a traditionally stagnant, stuffy, blue-collared world. Our guests have courageous stories of successes that must be told and need to be heard from those still trying to make their way. We share fresh perspectives on everything from marketing and online web presence, networking to finances, leadership, and so much more. It's all here to help you build the business of your dreams. But don't do it alone. This community is full of ladies that are standing out from the pack with their brilliant business plans and funny, relatable, no BS attitudes. Together, we will scale our companies and show you how to obtain amazing online reviews and build brand recognition, all while attracting and retaining the best talent in the industry. I mean, what's the business without your team, right? Oh, and while our ladies are out crushing their work goals, they're finding their own self-worth and identity. Sometimes successfully, other times not. But that's okay. That's what makes this real talk so much more relatable. No one's perfect, and we don't pretend to be here. No excuses. This stuff is hard, but we're doing it together. So get comfy, pop the top on a cold one, and invest the next 30 minutes or so with us. I am so thrilled you are here. My name is Tanya Wilson, and welcome to the Ladies Kickin' Ass podcast. Let's learn something new today. Come on. Today we are chatting about guilt. This can come in a million different ways, but most common ones look like mom guilt, wife guilt, daughter guilt, friend guilt, leadership guilt, or boss guilt, employee guilt. Gosh, the list goes on and on and on. Sometimes as women, I think we have guilt about guilt, which is so dumb. But yet we have a hell of a time quieting this tornado that builds up inside of us. Which I know for me, it's just a whole hell of a lot of anxiety and for really no reason at all. I want to break some of this guilt down and chat about shifting our perspectives, just that little 2 millimeters, to maybe extinguish some of this anxiety, stress, and guilt. First, I want you to get a piece of blank paper and a pen and do a quick thing with me. Okay, are you ready? Great. I want you to list out 1, 2, and 3 on your paper. Now, at the top, I want you to write this. This is what is important to me right now. Underline right now. Now, list the things right now, not indefinitely, that are important to you. Don't think hard about this. You must write these 3 things out immediately. Write what comes to your mind first, second, and third. Don't justify that it should be this or should be that or feel guilty for writing anything. You should have your list already. That's how fast I want you to write this. Don't overthink it or this won't work. Many times we have this as a mental list in our heads and we feel that our life has to revolve around things that are most important to us indefinitely. Sometimes it looks something like family, friends, and then work, or God, husband, and children, or friends, my dog, my career, or my career, my clothes, and my car. I'm sure there's a million different variations of that, but everybody has those top 3 in their heads that they think are supposed to be the same all the time, and they're just not. Sure, these things are great, but everyone knows what's most important in your life for the long haul. The people that know you know what's most important. I want you to stop thinking about this list like it's set in stone and it can't waver. Your priority list should change constantly because your life is changing constantly. Not being flexible with this list, I truly believe, is one of the greatest sources of guilt. Ladies, I'm one of your biggest cheerleaders, but you have to stop trying to do everything at the same time. I say this and take my advice here. I have struggled with this terribly. Being a single mama for so long, I always felt like I had to put my children first in everything that I did. Before myself, before my work, before everything. Now, my children are always in my top 3, and they always will be, but they move around. When launching this podcast, I have spent many hours holed up in my office doing prep work and watching courses on how to launch a podcast and on and on and on. It was more important at the moment and where I needed to focus my energy so I could create what had been on my heart for so long. I was doing something for me. That didn't mean that my children were suffering. I spoke with them and told them why I was spending so much time in my office. I communicated what a dream this was for me and that it would be taking up some of my time. My daughter is very proud every time she knows I'm recording, and as we speak, is sitting in here on the floor drawing a poster for her brother's birthday. She loves to see what is being created, and it's so cool. Letting go of this mom guilt has allowed me to create a passion project that is hopefully helping you as we speak, and I'm actually getting to share it with my daughter, which is also very cool. Secondly, I truly believe that you must understand that your life is going to go through seasons. It just is. How boring would it be if it never went through different seasons? We would be so bored. There will be times when some things are more important or pressing to be completed than at other times. For example, this does not mean that because you are focused on getting your social media campaign together for the next month and you must spend an extra 4 hours working tonight, that you are picking work over your children or your husband. It means tonight you must put in the work for 4 extra hours creating and scheduling out your social media posts so that you have that extra time for the rest of the month to spend with your kids and your husband. See what I mean? Small shift in perspective. Too many of us are trying to do way too many damn things at the same time, and we need to stop it. You aren't effective at any of them. Let me ask you this and really think about it. How productive are you when you're multitasking? I used to think I was one hell of a multitasking master ninja. I felt like I could be working on 5 things simultaneously and that I was accomplishing so much stuff throughout the day. But what's the quality of the work you're completing while multitasking like that? It's probably crap, or at least not the amazing quality that it is if you're focused on working on one thing at a time. Ladies, it's okay to have a priority that must be completed that is about no one but you. If you have a personal goal and have made a priority that you are working on getting stronger in the gym, stop feeling guilty for leaving your kiddos in the daycare facility for 1 hour while you go work on your body. They are fine. They're probably having a lot of fun in there. You are getting stronger. A mama that has more confidence in herself is a better mama all the way around. Plus, and this is a big one, your kiddos are watching you. They watch you set goals for yourself. Show them how to accomplish or keep those goals or promises that we make to ourselves long enough to see them through. Influence through action can be one of the most amazing things that we can do for our kiddos. And I can't help but turn this on its head. It's the same thing with your team or your employees at work. Set a goal. Let your team see you crush it. Inspire them to do the same thing. If you are a leader that is constantly making goals and you voice them out loud and you never achieve any of them, how much are they going to believe in you? Don't make your goals so outlandish that they're like slim to none in achieving anything. Make bite-sized goals if you need to and accomplish that and get some confidence. Accomplish the next one, get some confidence. The guilt sets in when we set these astronomical goals that we don't accomplish, and then we feel like a failure and that we wasted time, and all that guilt sets back in. Another season you may find yourself in is feeling like you need to spend more time and attention with your partner than with your friends. And hold on, even more than your kids or your business. That's okay too. Stop feeling guilty for leaving your kids with their favorite sitter or with grandma for the weekend. They're having a blast and you are reconnecting with your partner. Leave your business in the hands of someone that you have brought up to manage or supervise your business and let them do their job while you invest that time in your spouse or your partner. This will result in a better atmosphere in your home for those kiddos, a better attitude for you at work, and bring love and desire back into your heart at home and with your significant other. It's a beautiful thing all the way around. The whole gist of this season's business is this: you cannot do or make everything in your life priority number one at all times. It's impossible. So stop trying. Think about it. Go back to your list we made before. Define what's important to you right now. Make sure those 1, 2, and 3 are right now. Put your energy there. Tony Robbins says very often in a lot of trainings that I have been a part of, where energy flows, attention goes. Accomplish the goal and then revisit what's important to you then. This is a cycle that should be repeated over and over again. Something I have actually implemented into my life, and I heard this from, I believe it was Dean Graziosi, that said every month he has an audit day. Now, if you're an entrepreneur or if you own a service business, like many of our listeners do, you may find it difficult to just say, I'm taking a whole day away and I'm going to just focus on auditing what I got accomplished for the month. It's super helpful for your business, but I'm not talking about just doing it for your business. You need to spend half the day auditing where you're at with your kids, with your spouse, where your personal financial situation is at, where you're at with your health and fitness journey, if that's what you're doing, or if you are in a personal development stage and you are doing coursework or classes or even going back to school or going to college. Where are you at? What have you accomplished? Look back on the goals that you wrote down. check them off if you've got them done and set new ones. If you haven't accomplished them, it's a great time to revisit that. Spend the second half of the day working on your stuff in the business. Set yourself 3 clear goals that you need to accomplish with your business every month. Go back, check it out, go over financials, see where you're at with employees and teams and jobs or anything that you need to be checking back up on. Think about it this way. If you don't jump on a scale and, check in with yourself every so often, sometimes you can jump on that scale 6 months later and have a scale shock, I guess would be the best way to say that. However, if you're monitoring that every single day, how much are you willing to let that tip over, let's say, an extra 5 pounds? Probably not as much. You probably pay attention to stuff before it gets completely blown out of proportion. And then you're really trying to come back from 20 pounds instead of 5. I use this for an example because I've done this myself, and I'm trying to be better about all of that stuff because I am also on a health and fitness journey myself, and I want to have a baseline. It's not about being obsessive. It's about being present, and it's about checking in with yourself. And we all need to do that more often. Thirdly, I think it's super important that you understand that you're going to go through seasons in your life, but you also have to learn to adapt to those new seasons. A lot of times we're trying to do what we did before in a new season of life, and that just doesn't work out anymore. We've just chatted about how you have different seasons in your life, and the biggest way to beat the guilt is seriously to adapt to the new season. If your business is growing like crazy or you're launching something new, let go of the guilt of letting something slide so that you can focus on the new important season. One of the biggest comparisons of this is having a new baby. When you have a little one in your house, you sleep less, your house will be messier than usual, your time is restricted where you once were free as could be because you have to take care of this new infant. You spend less intimate time with your spouse because y'all are tired as hell and work is done in the 30-minute stretches between feedings and playtime. Trust me, I've been there. But it is a season. Soon you'll have a 5-year-old that won't require all of the hands-on time and diaper changes and feedings. They still eat, but not like an infant does. And they'll become more self-sufficient. And then you'll have a 13-year-old that feels like she can do everything herself, yet still needs to be chauffeured around because she can't drive yet. Then you will have an empty bedroom and a child off to start her own life, and you'll have so much time on your hands that you can take a trip for 2 weeks, or even set up an art studio and take up painting. I dread and desire those things daily. I can't wait to see what my season of life looks like when there's not 5 kids running around my house screaming. And yet, I am completely scared to death to think about what that looks like when it's so quiet and there aren't 5 kids around the house screaming. I'm sure you can resonate with that, mamas. You can't be the person that is still doing all of the $15 per hour tasks at your business as you once did as a solopreneur, but now that you have a team, you pay to take care of those things for you. Just because you can do things in your business, and you should know how to do all of them, doesn't mean that you're the one that should be doing them. You are in a new season. Enjoy it, adapt, and watch the team you've created work their magic. Get out of the weeds and start working on your business, not in your business. Newsflash, many times your team will end up doing it better than you did. You know why? Because they are focused on that task and not the 7 million other tasks you were trying to do while doing that. They kick ass at their jobs. That's why you hired them to do them. So allow them the space to create. The fact that we are working mamas kicking ass at work, home, and life doesn't mean that we have to be kicking ass at all of them at one time. Give yourself some grace. Take care of you. Don't forget to put you in that top 3 at all times. Without a healthy you, mentally, physically, emotionally, mentally, there is nothing else to even worry about. Stop feeling guilty for taking care of yourself. When you do, you will be a better leader, mama, wifey, partner, friend, daughter, etc., etc., etc. And lastly, y'all are way too overcommitted. Let me give you a little secret. Saying no is a hella powerful thing. If you don't believe me, just try it once and you'll be like, oh my God, that felt so good. Way too many of us ladies are overcommitted and have a hell of a time saying no to things. I think it's just kind of I don't know if it's like a maternal thing or something that we saw our mothers or the women in our lives do that just gave. You know, so many of us could probably look back on family members and be like, she would give up everything and she would do everything. She put herself last and she did this. And people talk about this as if it's like a badge of honor or that woman is the heroine because she put everybody before her. And we should not be looking at things like that. How many of us know those women today that might be a little bit older, maybe a little bit bitter, maybe a little bit frustrated that they didn't look at that in a different way? I surely know some of those people. I think you can grow right alongside the family that you're raising and become incredible women and still take care of your responsibilities and your family. When we are already pulling our hair out from mom or spouse guilt, we commit to driving soccer carpools and coaching the Little League team. And then we offer to volunteer at our kids' schools, even though our schedules are jam-packed because that's what good moms do, right? Stop the insanity. How many of you actually feel resentful when you see something pop up in your calendar that you volunteered for or you signed up for and your heart really wasn't in it? But you did it so you wouldn't feel guilty. If you didn't raise your hand, girl, you are a damn liar because we've all been in that place before. We all do this and it's just like we can't stop. And we talk about how much we hate the way it makes us feel and yet we do it again and again and again. So I have a suggestion. Instead of feeling guilty for not giving up your most precious resource, which I hope you all know is your time, how about volunteer in other ways to help calm your guilt? Air quotes. When you are asked to help host the Halloween party at school, kindly decline, but offer to supply juice boxes at the party. If you are asked to do something that will take your time at work and there's opportunities to do something else instead, where it may be furnishing something that doesn't take so much time, do that. You're still helping, but you're not committing your time away. It's a win-win. Always keep this question in your head when you're committing to things. Does this serve my number one right now? If it doesn't, scratch it. Don't commit. In closing, I just want to commend you all on what you ladies accomplish in one day. In an article I was recently reading on successconsciousness.com, it states that experts believe that the mind thinks between 50 and 80,000 thoughts a day. Now, this varies between men and women, but that's a shit ton of thoughts to process. That's like 2,100 to 3,300 thoughts per day. If you even think about that, you're like, what? But we must remember that all of those thoughts feed off of each other. How many times have you been thinking about your favorite place, which led to the smell of the place and the color of the place and the feel of the fabrics around on the couches and on and on. And just like anything in life, when you are thinking good thoughts, you have more good thoughts. When you have negative thoughts, you think more negative things. When you feel guilty about being a working mama and then start stressing about how this impacts your kids, and now the reading problem that your little Tommy has is directly attached to the fact that you went on a business trip, and then whoosh, you go down this guilt luge, which once you get off, you realize is completely insane, but you just let your mind take that ride. And you remember it. Subconsciously, you'll remember it. So do this for me as a takeaway this week. When you have a negative or guilty thought pop into your head, say out loud, "That's not true because fill in the blank." When you interrupt a silent thought with an audible correction, it does amazing things at redirecting your thoughts into a more positive manner. I know sometimes I had a terrible thing of I would do something, or I am hella clumsy and I fall all the time, or I bump into things and my daughter's laughing at me because she knows it's true. I would literally think in my head, "You're so stupid, Tanya." And then I finally caught myself doing this and just said out loud, "That was a mistake. There's nothing wrong with you." Literally just stopping and saying, "That was a mistake. There is nothing wrong with you," instead of telling myself in my head, "You're so stupid, Tanya," completely changes what just happened. And it also changes what happens next. If I continue to think, "Tanya, you're stupid," everything that I do that day, I'm going to be second guessing myself because I just literally told myself I was stupid. Or I could say, "You made a mistake," out loud, and I'm literally correcting myself. And then if I make another mistake that day, your mind instantly goes to, "Oops, there's another mistake," instead of "You're so stupid." Do you see where that's going? It's very powerful. Try it. Also, I want you to post your top 3 lists that we made earlier somewhere you will see it all the time. I would suggest taking a picture of it on your phone and saving it as your wallpaper. You will see it at all different times during the day, redirecting your thoughts, even as you are cruising around online, checking social, or even doing work stuff on your phone. Ladies, we need to normalize that it is amazing that working mamas can do all that they do. Let's normalize that women should not have to choose between building the business of their dreams and pursuing their passion projects over having a family and children. Stop making any mother feel bad about working and momming simultaneously. Ladies, we're the ones that are going to change the way this feels for each and every one of us. We are the ones that guilt other ladies over their personal choices to pursue their top 3. Working women also make stay-at-home moms feel like shit sometimes too, because, "Oh, you don't work? Oh my God. Going to my office is so much easier than staying at home with 5 children. You stay-at-home mamas are saints to me. You are true angels on earth. That is the hardest job on earth. And if y'all don't believe me, be locked in a house with 5 kids for 5 days and you will be screaming to go back to work." So if you've got all that going on and you're a working mama too, oh, bless you that you're able to keep up with everything. But if you're doing those two things simultaneously, don't feel like you're going to be perfect at either one of those things. Sometimes the job's going to require more attention. Sometimes your kids are sick at home and you have to be home with them, and work doesn't get your attention that day. Stop feeling guilty for that. I know several times when my babies have been sick in the infancy of my business, I felt guilty for not being at work. I felt guilty being at home with my kids and I wasn't at work or I wasn't doing work things that day. It's such bullshit. We have to change that stigma. We're trying to be two full-time people and there's only one of you. So give yourself some grace. Real women don't put down other women. We offer help and understanding at all times. Stay-at-home moms have no idea how we go to work and work 8 to 10 hours a day and then come home and do housework and take care of kids and do all of this stuff. Working moms have no idea how stay-at-home moms get all of their stuff completed all of the time, or how they have any sanity left because we have to have that diversity. If we all work together and support each other, what a beautiful community of women we would have in this world. Another thing that just totally kills me about any of this guilt and things like that is when you read the mommy blogs, or if you follow, I would say, famous mothers, and you ever read the comments that are attached to those things. It is so disgusting that women can treat each other the way that they do, hiding behind a computer screen. And I would challenge you all, since we can't stop all of this ourselves, I would challenge you all to start leaving uplifting comments for these women that you follow. Not the famous ones. Well, you could do that too. But even just any mom that you know. If there's a picture of a mom with her kids, leave a message for her. Tell her how great she looks in the picture. Tell her that you're proud of her for working in taking care of these babies. Tell them that you're happy to see that smile on her face. Tell her that you appreciate tell her that you appreciate your friendship that you have. Let's do something really cool this week and try to uplift and rid some of that guilt that maybe some of our friends are even feeling, or some that we have ourselves from maybe past behaviors where we haven't been so kind. I mean, that's what the Ladies Kickin' Ass community is all about, is about lifting other women up. You don't have to dim your own glow, girl, to help somebody else shine. That is the whole purpose of this podcast and this community, is so that we can help each other become better moms, better business owners, and better women. And that we have a community to share that with. So I hope this touched your heart and your minds today, and please be sure to send this out to any mamas that you think this may help or inspire. Work towards making guilt a non-existent word in your life. It will be an amazing feeling. Maybe the next time you feel guilt, see if you can replace it with a different kind of feeling. Give yourself some grace. Tell yourself something kind or nice, or something that you did do that was really worth recognizing. We have a real hard time at doing that for ourselves. So this week, let's do it. Love you all so much, and thanks for listening. Have a great weekend. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Ladies Kickin' Ass podcast. I would love to invite you to become part of our exclusive community on Facebook groups. There is so much value there in inspiring you to chase your goals and coaching you on how to get there. Plus, you get the support of other women from across the world who have also joined. You can also find us all over social media and at our website, ladieskickingass.com. All social media platform links are in the show notes below, so we've made it nice and easy for you. Be sure to join so you are the first to hear about exciting programs and announcements that we have coming up. And ladies, there's some good stuff. And never miss a notification for an exciting new podcast episode release. If you yourself are a lady that is kicking some serious ass and you have an awesome story that you would love to share with our audience about running your business while raising your family and becoming the woman of your dreams, I want to talk to you. Check out our website at ladieskickingass.com/podcast, where you can apply to be a guest on our show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. Tell me what you think of it with a rating and share this episode with anyone you think it may inspire or help. Have a great week, and I'll see you back here next Friday. Bye for now.